Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where we are discussing climate change, abrupt climate change, and things adjacent. So I went down, there was a bit of a action in downtown LA today. It wasn't a protest. There was an LA City Council meeting around a fossil fuel issue. And so there were people there from all kinds of from climate organizations and people who there were people there from the Sierra Club, and there were also people there from Extinction Rebellion and various factions. It seems kind of spread out in a little. There's quite a few organizations in LA centered around environmental issues, and they seem like kind of small pockets. And LA being what it is, it's kind of for being the showy, glitzy, surfacey kind of city that it is. I don't, environmental issues are definitely take a backseat to many other things. That being said, there are strides being made. Anyway, so I went to check out this thing that was happening at City Hall, and I did some filming and had a kind of a cool conversation. I realized when I got there, I have less than professional equipment to work with. I also realized that my on the scene reporting skills need a lot of work. Anyways, but I tried. But I talked to a woman named Lucy who was really cool, and ex-school teacher who is interested in informing and educating people, especially children, around the subject of climate change, around the reality of climate change. So I had a cool conversation with her, and I'm going to put that in the video. So I'm just going to run some footage and some pictures and some of that conversation with Lucy. And then I'm going to finish up this video with a new installment of Way Past What the Fuck. I also, as subdued as the XR thing is in LA, it's definitely ramped up in England. I'm going to link a video in the description box about an action that went on in the UK, where people were actually getting arrested, etc. Also, Gordon Dimmack is doing some good work there covering Extinction Rebellion. They seem to be getting a lot of or more press. Some people think it's not so good. I seem to see way more than it is going on here. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to roll this footage, and I'll be back with a reading of Way Past What the Fuck. I'm really bummed out that I missed the March 15th one, because apparently there were like 800 people here, and it was quite large. Shame on me. But hopefully there'll be some more people here.
I thought it was like one of those things, like a backpack.
We have a large group getting blown up.
I'm going to push this through the grid work.
So if you just take it, yellow.
Enter your own fund.
And I have paper right here.
It's not a fund.
you doing?
Good.
Good to meet you. I'm Kevin, by the way.
Hi,
Nice to meet
Kevin. Lucy.
you. Lucy, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you want to see my other side?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. There you go.
Awesome. Vomit on that.
Are you so are you signed up on the XR bulletins, or are you just here?
I don't know what the XR bulletins are, so no,
Okay, the
no, I'm
Extinction
not.
Rebellion.
Extinction Rebellion, no, I'm not.
Okay. How are you here today?
Well, I'm here because I would be anyway, but I'm with the Sierra Club.
Okay, great.
And I was active with the Beyond Coal campaign
Yes.
back in the day,
Yes.
about 7 or 8 years ago, and I've been working on electric buses, electrifying school buses, on 100% clean energy,
Yes.
and so on. So it's been what we're working on now is to try to get the last gas plant that in the LA basin shut down, and that's the one in San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
It's the oldest. It's very dirty.
Yes.
It was dirty, and they considered shutting it down in 1993.
Yes. Right.
It was 40 years old then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's time.
yeah, it's
sure.
definitely time. The thing's almost as old as I am.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well,
so,
I mean, they made some good strides, I think. So
yeah, these are good
converting,
strides.
you
But
know,
what we
yeah.
don't want is for these ones being shut down, meaning that one runs more
Right. Exactly. Sure.
because it's dirtier.
Right.
And what we would like to see is the San Fernando Valley residents brought together to make a plan whether they, for energy democracy, right? Do we want to have solar arrays on our rooftops? Do we want to have a more efficient, possibly, solar array out in the desert?
Right.
I'm not for that. I'm for the locally owned.
Sure. Me too.
And or do we want to continue doing what we're doing, or do we want to rework the gas plant into a cleaner gas plant? What is it that we want?
Right.
And that has to be decided, I think, by the people of the valley.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different roads to go, so many different ways to go. But I mean, it's all part of the discussion has to be hashed out.
Yeah, and it has to be a deliberative discussion. It should be a deliberative discussion by the people who are going to be affected by it.
Right.
Which is what we don't see happening.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, the most of the issues are kind of trampled under necessity of keeping a city of 6 million people going.
Right.
But,
So the city should pay for residents to come together, a random sample of residents to come together to deliberate on the issue.
Sure.
And then those residents would be able to call in the experts that we would need,
Sure.
And who says I'm going to be a part of it? I'm not. But somebody, whoever those citizens are, would be able to actually do this. This process is called sortition.
Sortition, of course.
And it worked in Ireland
Yeah.
to help, amend their constitution in several important ways. So
Yeah. No, I'm all for that. I agree. I think we need sane, intelligent voices, and to be a part of the process.
Yep.
And yeah, I agree. Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Yeah, sorry, you just said a bunch of really good stuff.
Okay.
I just missed.
All right. So I just, my name's Lucy, and I retired from teaching science in the schools, in the LAUSD schools, mostly out of exhaustion, frustration, because I wasn't able to teach climate change in the way that our students are going to experience it. And so what I think we might need is a set of trainings that help each school, all the stakeholders in a school, come together and decide how and to what extent the school wants to put climate change at the center of what they're teaching. Because, a science teacher teaches the science, but really the answers are in politics. And the politics is informed by history and psychology. So all the social sciences should be teaching climate change. And in addition, all of the social sciences are acting on the basis of a culture. So that belongs in English. So all of those classes need to be, need to think through what is our relationship to the earth and how can we best teach our children correctly.
I wholly support your goal in that, and I think we do need to talk about that. We're not, and I think that kids are the ones that know more than anybody else about this, but they still don't know enough, and they're people are trying to get the message out. We're trying to
right. So there's this massive. We're not headed for a cliff. We're it's a long downhill, rubbly slope that we're on right now, and the people have gone over that slope already. There was a massive drought in Syria, caused the Syrian war and all the Syrian immigrants. We multiplied the problem by a factor of 10 through war. The same thing's happening in Honduras. There was a drought across the dry corridor in Honduras. Those coffee growers and corn and bean growers are coming north now. And what do? We build a wall.
Right, exactly, right.
Right? That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So...
and that problem is just going to, get worse.
Absolutely.
Over the next few years.
Absolutely. So what we have to do is train our children to think through what we want to do as a human race at this, how are we going to, what are the methods and the ways that we can hang together to go through this, very bad time that we've set up for ourselves, and how to avoid it in the future and heal it.
Yeah, and we really need to be about supporting them in that,
Absolutely.
Because it's their future,
Yeah, which is our future too,
and
right?
It's our future too, yes, but we really need to make that highest importance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How to minimize the suffering of these younger, and maximize the power and the how aware they are of what they're being asked to do and what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the key thing.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Finance a great portion of that. So it's really important, to stand up against making these type of deals, and because what it is increasing drilling, and it's increasing dangerous types of drilling. It's not just the old type of drilling where they just went down and took the oil out. Now they use enhanced, whether it's acidization, using extreme dangerous chemicals. And so we have to say no.
Create a semicircle or a circle if you guys want to march. So no one's behind you, no one's in front of you, no one's above you, and no one's below you. My name is Lydia Ponce. I'm Mayo Quechua, adopted by Gloria Arianas, Tongva, and I am not California native. Those borders cross the lands at Sinaloa, Baja California, and my family's from Sinaloa and Paeta, Peru. It's an honor to be here. I didn't get my minute up there, and I'm going to start with what I wanted to say to City Council. We passed an ordinance for Standing Rock to support, and on March 22nd, we had a World Prayer Day for water. And on the 23rd of March, the very next morning, we got word on the grassroots level that people were having water delivered in areas of South Dakota and 5 miles from the main roads that were.
So I hope you all enjoyed that. It was small but mighty, and I don't know if you heard me talking about it in that one clip, but apparently the action on March 15th was quite large. It was like 800 people. I was talking to another woman there whose son is reporting on climate change, 13 years old, so inspiring. And she was there to kind of just lend support. And so she was telling me she was at the March 15th action, and it was 800 people. It was quite large, and I'm bummed out that I missed that one. But maybe the one on April 22nd will be a bit larger. Who knows? I don't know. I'm planning on trying to go check it out. So this is from Michael Campy at Way Past What the Fuck, entitled E-Ticket. All over the country, I'm seeing it the same. Nobody's winning at this kind of game. We got to do better. It's time to begin. You know, all the answers must come from within. So come on and sit here by my side. Come on and take a free ride. And that's from the song Free Ride. When I was younger, Disneyland used to have graded ticket levels. The E-ticket was the most expensive because it got you on the bigger, more popular, and usually scarier rides. Pirates of the Caribbean and the Matterhorn are the two that stand out. These rides were fun in my mind because they were scary, just the right amount of danger and excitement. Today, we are on the biggest, scariest, and whether conscious or not, the most popular ride of all time. We are on the E for existential roller coaster ride to end all roller coaster rides. If you are awake enough to understand our predicament and you are a fun-loving sort such as myself, then you can choose to have a little scary fun with our current situation. Viewing things this way can take a few adjustments. The hardest of these is knowing that the ride has only one possible outcome: everyone dies. It is kind of like getting on one of those things where you are strapped into a little chair, lifted into the air, and then dropped. This time, though, there is a twist. You find out shortly after this thing is in motion that there is a structural problem which will cause catastrophic failure, killing everyone on board. There is no way to warn anyone, as your voice would be drowned out by all of the noise. What do you do? That's a rhetorical question. You don't do anything because there's nothing you can do. The process of coming to grips with this reality is arduous, as it requires that you abandon in its entirety any notion of a reprieve. There is a show called Person of Interest, highly recommended, about a supercomputer AI that is capable of running thousands of possible scenarios and possible outcomes in the blink of an eye. In one episode, our heroes are trapped and in imminent danger of being slaughtered. The computer begins to run scenarios that would result in their escape. After thousands of these simulations, the machine comes to the conclusion that the only possible outcome is that these people are going to die. How familiar does that sound? We are right there with them, and every scenario has only one possible outcome: we die. If you really dig down, though, it's really not that bad. You are going to die anyway. The timeline has just sped up a little bit or a lot. We had a good run. We had a few laughs, but now the party is over. But that doesn't mean that you can go all buzzkill on me. There's still time to have a little fun, and as a bonus, make some trouble for people in positions of power. Go out and pants a CEO. Scary, I know. Casually throw a rock through a window, or use a slingshot and BBs out of your car. There are all sorts of fun little activities that you can indulge in. So get out there and have some fun at someone else's expense. The joke will be on them in any event. As always, good, fun, funny stuff from Michael Campy, and way past what the fuck. Yeah, you know, it'll just be interesting times. We live in interesting times. So, you know, so a lot of times I try not to put any values of good or bad on things. It's just interesting. And it will be interesting the next few years. What's going to happen? What are people going to do? How are people going to respond? I'm super curious. And thank you for being here to take that ride with me, as we are all very curious how this is going to play out. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. Until next time, peace.